Okay, awesome. Well, hi everyone and welcome. So delighted to have you here for Being in Flow, treating your business like play. And it's going to be a really fun talk today. I have been having experiences for the last year, especially around finding ways to just enjoy our work, enjoy my work more, and connect with the possibility of more and more play in the work that I'm doing, and just finding a great flow with everything. Because I mean, really, that's why we started our businesses in the first place, right? We wanted to really enjoy ourselves, and I get this opportunity to really step into our full expression, uh, to share our passion, our gifts in ways that feel really good. So I'm really excited about talking on this topic today. So if you don't already know, my name is Theresa Pridemore, and I've been working actually in the world of business consulting and spiritual work for about 17 years. I've worked in communications and design since 1998, and I built my first website in high school in 1996, I guess, back when websites weren't cool. Well, everyone was interested in the internet, but people weren't necessarily all hopping on the internet at that time. I was obsessed with technology and the possibilities of the online world to bring us together to share common interests. My common interest back in the day was the movie Labyrinth, and I created a big fan site around that where I housed my fan fiction. Actually, I wrote a bunch of fan fiction, and I created community there. So I was really a big believer in creating community online, even from the very beginning. And I especially saw it as a way to bring together misfits and unique souls who didn't really have a voice in the normal world. And certainly those are the people that showed up on my fan site at the time. And we had great chats. I don't know if back in the day, I don't even remember if any of you remember getting on chats and chat rooms. That was the fun thing to do back then. Now we have Reddit. Anyways, I moved to Portland from Mississippi over 20 years ago. And soon after I moved here, I started learning energy medicine techniques and the power of connecting with Mother Earth to receive healing and to manifest the things that I wanted in life. And my gifts as an intuitive opened up over the following years. And I even developed skills as a tarot reader and intuitive counselor. And over time, I wove my various gifts into my business, and I used them for branding and online strategy. And, because I had this background in communications and web, that was like my primary work, and it evolved into doing more consulting, and ultimately wove them into my business coaching and consulting. So that's a story in of itself, how I went from that to this, but is a very kind of organic journey, I guess. And in 2020, I had a powerful awakening experience that opened up gifts and channeling and connected me with a 5D reality that's been emerging on Earth during the planet's current global awakening. And it put me in touch with the miraculous physical, spiritual, and emotional manifestations that are possible in the quantum field, which is relevant to some of the things that I'm going to talk about today. So I'll just jump right in. So, kind of the question that we might find ourselves asking, and we certainly do in our culture, these days, is it possible for art and play? I'm sorry, business and play. Art is also one of my passions. Business and play, are they companions, right? We may have started out thinking that way, but then like diving in more deeply, found that there was a lot of challenge in running our business. And we wonder sometimes, are we actually going to get around to playing in our business, right? So I'll just talk a little bit about why play is important to the running of our business. So play opens, obviously, creativity and relaxation. And obviously, or maybe not so obviously, I don't know, it's necessary for innovation and productivity. We are not as innovative when we aren't in a playful frame of mind. And I believe not as productive either, actually. So One of the things that play does, it's interesting, is that it keeps us out of the energy of uncertainty around our progress, right? So we don't, if we're having a good time and we're giving ourselves the opportunity to goof off a little, to try new things, to experiment, we don't actually get as caught up in the concern that we are not getting anywhere. That's something that can really stick with us a lot. And it can hold us back and it can make us less productive. So being in a playful mindset actually keeps you out of that story, out of worrying about it. And obviously it opens you up to more divine insight. So you do start to receive more insights from source and your higher self. When you are in a playful frame of mind, your channel is more open to those things. Certainly as kids, we can remember being really connected to those things. So, you know, it's important for us to be willing to play more so that we can actually stay more awake for those other resources that we have available to us. So it releases pressure so we can stay focused, right? So if we're stressed out all the time, it is actually a lot harder to stay focused. And people will sometimes push themselves and drive themselves into the ground to try to get stuff done. And you actually aren't going to be as focused, and you're not going to get as much done if you're not in a more relaxed frame of mind, right? And it connects us to the loving energy of the universe. Really, the universe is Leela, which is divine play. And everything that happens in the universe is the universe finding a way to create play for itself and for everyone who's a part of it. And so we are more in touch with the truth of the universe, which is actually play. So play also keeps you centered so that you can make more rational decisions. It's funny because we don't necessarily think of those two things as associated, but they absolutely are. You know, our journey is full of twists and turns. You know, there's going to be a lot of shifts that we're going to make as we go through the process of growing ourselves personally to show up fully for our businesses. And it's hard to make choices when you're in pain or in confusion, right? So those emotions really work against us when we are actually trying to make decisions. And when we can be in a more playful frame of mind, it does also keep us more centered, right? And it moves you out of scarcity consciousness and into abundance. I find that all the time in my experience. You know, for me, sometimes play looks like saying, you know what, I'm going to stop 45 minutes early and I'm going to go take an early lunch, and I'm going to take a long lunch, and I'm going to sit outside with a book, you know, and just enjoy my day. I'm going to go take a minute to go get a cup of coffee and slow it down, drop into the bookshop and see what's there, you know. And by the time I get back to work, if I have been worried about anything, if anything has been really holding me down and making me scared or stressed or worried, you know, which happens sometimes, I'm immediately back into abundance mindset. And then again, my creativity opens up and there's so many more opportunities available to me at that point. I start to see solutions that I didn't see before, right? And we'll talk about that more later. But it aligns you also with actionable, doable, and inspiring ideas and direction, right? So, you know, those are all things that we need. We all like to have like big grand visions and big plans for like what we're going to achieve in our business. But ultimately, we also need every day to connect with what is actionable. What can I actually get done right now? What's the next step? What is doable for me in this particular moment? And when we're not in play, when we're not in experimentation or curiosity is actually a big part of play too, right? When we are not indulging in little curiosities and actually taking action on those curiosities, not just like stewing on them all the time, letting them float around in our head endlessly for months, you know, or weeks or whatever, we don't get as far. So, you know, we need to be able to take action on those things too. But being in inspiration, super duper important, right? And I think play helps you stay committed to goals and work-related tasks, which is, seems like the opposite of what play is meant to do, right? But I actually think it has helped me tremendously to actually be able to stay centered and willing to do all the work that's necessary to promote, market, sell, do my sessions, do my groups, write my content, all of that. It actually helps me a ton with, with all of those things. So we lose focus and determination when we're bored. If we get too bored, we're far less likely to actually stay committed to what we need to do. And everything feels misdirected when you're not enjoying yourself. You just don't actually feel like you're on the right path. And that can just hold you back tremendously because you don't actually move forward, or you take a time out. Not to say that timeouts are bad. You are going to have those times where you need to take a time out to like mull over things, to work through some energy around something that's bugging you. But, sometimes we do it a lot. And I think staying in a playful frame of mind actually helps you want to keep going more often, than you might if you find yourself like constantly going back to those kinds of emotional states, right? And I think playing with other people will help you recommit to your goals and your plans, So that it can be coffee dates or whatever, or, soul collage experiences, or outings, or going to the art museum or whatever. I think once you have had the opportunity to play with someone a little bit, you always come back refocused and more excited to do the work. And ultimately, play helps you align with what's joyful about your work, which really we need to stay as connected to as possible to stay motivated. So play also puts you in the infinite field, which increases your ability to create in the 5D. And, that's something that we want to master more and more. And I think we're waking up to this opportunity more and more on the planet. We've had law of attraction supporting us, and I could go on and on about how we're shifting into even more aligned ways of creating that are easier and easier. And when we create in the 5D, that gives us opportunity to see manifestations in the physical world. But anyways, play will help you celebrate past successes more easily. You'll notice how powerful you are, and noticing your power is a really important way to actually start being able to shift things and make things happen in your business, because you don't feel like a victim. You don't feel like you don't have options. You're able to see how amazing you are. So you believe in yourself to create outcomes, and then you show up for those outcomes. So it's really important to be in a place where you can notice your own power, and you create more incredible outcomes and your manifestations in 3D more easily. They start to come a lot more easily when you're in a zone of flow and enjoyment, right? And your brainstorming is actually a lot more productive. You actually start to have a lot more ease in brainstorming, and you get ideas that are really going to take you far, right? So that's all like a great result of being in that flow. And a playful energy will attract co-creators on both the physical and the higher planes who will help you manifest your vision. So we are collaborating on a number of planes of existence, and that is a thing that's getting more and more prevalent for many of us, seekers and mystics and healers. We're finding that we're creating on other planes of existence in different amazing ways as collaborators, co-creators. And it can be people that show up in your life here that you've been destined to meet all along. And it can also be people that you don't know are all working together. So we think of that as the vortex, but the vortex isn't just the universe collaborating things, it's us connecting and co-creating with each other. And so we're more like magnetic to other people who want to like be a part of our journey, a part of our mission, a part of our experience on other planes of existence when we are committed to being more playful. So, I mean, here's the great thing about play. There are incredible seeds of wealth in play, actually. That's another thing that might seem counterintuitive, but we kind of think of play meaning I'm goofing off, I'm not getting anything accomplished, right? But actually there are incredible seeds of wealth in play. And it's a lot simpler to call in money when you are in a playful mindset, right? So you feel more resilient when you're taking risks, which can open new doors. We can actually be kind of risk adverse sometimes, and that can put us at odds with taking new steps and making investments we need to make, that we know deep down we need to make, but we can't like get into a relaxed state about it. And so being available for a more easy journey in your business can also make you think, I can handle this. I can work through this. This is not as scary as I thought. It'll open your mind to parallel journeys in your research so you can see new things that will grow your business. So I don't know if you've ever been in a state of mind where you're like, I don't really enjoy any of this. I don't know what I'm doing. Are you going to get on the internet and start looking things up and start learning new technologies or, reading more about marketing? You're not. If you don't feel like you're, playing with it a little bit. When you're playing, you're like, I'll go see what this nets. I'll read part of this article. I'm not really interested in all of it, but I'll read some of it. And you learn a little bit. It inspires you to try to look something else up. And then you just go on this really interesting breadcrumb trail and you find something amazing that's going to help you tons. So your research starts to shift when you are in a more playful mindset towards getting your goals met. And play will help you transform into the person that you need to be in order to step into bold new territory that's going to generate revenue. Because you're used to like, I don't know, just like being in this field of opportunity, that curiosity and like taking time to like make art. Art can open you up to new aspects of yourself. If you're like, you like to do art or crafts, that can be an incredible way to like shift your thinking around things. It's really interesting how we get into more of a flow mindset when we do these things, and then they bring us back on board with the possibility that we have in front of us in our business. And you might think you're being naughty by taking a break for 40 minutes to do a craft project, but then you come back and you're like, you're more energized and ready to go, right? So integrating that into your day might be actually a really important way for you to keep your energy flowing in a direction of, I actually feel my energy field is open for really amazing things right now. So I'm going to really, I don't know, sometimes too, you go into a meditative state. So when you're actually thinking about how to grow your revenue, you're trying to think about what programs to offer, what timing to do things, and you get into a flow state that lets you more easily know how to plan things out so you get the best results possible. And your creative self is more open to innovative strategies that are going to work for you when you're in that mindset. So you're in your zone, and as a result, it's easier to try new tactics and play with new technology. Because if we're not able to go into a playful mindset about that stuff, we're going to sometimes think of it as a barrier that is in our way of actually attracting the people we want to attract, and is a barrier that's in the way of us actually doing our core work. And if we don't feel comfortable with technology, then we're going to have an antagonistic relationship with it. It's going to make it actually really hard for us to move forward. So it reduces your resistance to new ways of working, and it can even open up new possibilities in 3D reality concerning technology. So your work goes more smoothly and solutions are more readily available. And what's fascinating is I've been through some amazing experiences in the last month where technology has literally seemed to update itself with new features as I was using it. And my job got a little easier. And I've seen this happen over and over again. And it doesn't feel anymore like someone is on the other side just happening to push an update when I was in the middle of it. So I don't know what to tell you, but I think that that is entirely possible. And our minds are all like working together to create a better experience with all kinds of things, including the tech that we have to work with. But anyways, play helps you stay nimble and clear. So you also know where to focus your efforts, because that's a big part of it. We want to actually be able to focus where we need to focus. And it keeps you from feeling like a slave to technology. You will stay more fluid and open. And that's really ultimately what we want. We don't want to be in a victim mindset around the tech we have to use, because if you're going to grow to a more global audience, and try to grow your group programs and things, you have to be open to the opportunity of having new people in your circle, in the experience with you. And we can't reach as many people if we're not willing to have an email message that we send out on a regular basis, marketing through our list, doing some social media, right? It's how people look you up. That's how they get to know you and trust you. So it's important to not be in victim consciousness around technology. And if you decide, I'm just going to play with this, I'm just going to give it a try. I don't know, I'm going to break something. One of my favorite people, she is so excited to try out new things and just to see what happens. And she always innovates in amazing ways with her own marketing and her business, because she's just willing to keep trying stuff and do new things and play with it and see what happens. And always there's a solution. If there's something she thinks she wants, she's like, I know it's out there, I'm gonna find it, and I'll play with a couple until I find the one I like the best. And it is all about play. It is all about play and being in a playful space with that. And that increases your wealth. All of that can increase your wealth. When you're done with just getting referral business, you're going to move up to a place where you have more technology. But even if you do have referral business, having online forms for scheduling that makes it easier for people to pay in the moment you get a client you wouldn't have normally gotten, right? Or whatever it is your business model is, having certain systems in place will actually help you a lot. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about in the context of play, which is interesting, is ambivalence. And ambivalence will take you out of your flow, right? And I find when I'm less playful, I'm more likely to be ambivalent about things that I'm doing. So although I have mastered that at this point, one day I realized, oh, the reason my business is not going as fast as I want it to go is because I am incredibly ambivalent about what I want. And once I decide I'm done being ambivalent, then I will get to do things more easily. So, this has been a big block, and I've seen it a lot in spirit-led business owners, especially because we have a lot of things that get in the way of us having a clear signal for what we want, because we're trying to stay integrity, or we don't want our ego to be involved, or I could go on a long list there. But anyways, ambivalence is keeping yourself in two realities, and that disrupts your creative power. So you have one foot in one reality and one foot in the other, and you're not fully dedicated to any one particular reality. You're staying in a flux state, and the universe doesn't know which one to deliver your options in, right? So few things put us out of touch with play more than ambivalence. And obviously, if you keep one foot in each reality, diffuse your power. And when you don't decide, what you're doing is deciding that you may not succeed, right? Ultimately. If you keep doing that, if you keep not deciding, then you're not making progress either, right? And it makes you dread taking action. So that takes the joy out of your efforts too. You don't actually remember why you like doing what you're doing, why you started in the first place. So you have to be daring enough to decide that you get what you want and take action from that perspective. Decide you're going to just get what you want and then take action. Okay. And it's important to choose to take control of your life and your choices. It's going to make you more confident, and you're going to enjoy things more. Okay. So really, really be empowered, decide that you get what you want, and decide that you're going to take action from the place of knowing that truth. So not honoring our need for play will increase our odds of being ambivalent. Play moves our energy out of stuckness and helps us align with the energy of wealth, right? And when we work in an uninspired way, we don't have clarity about our path. So, we can't take clear action when we don't have any inspiration guiding us at the moment, right? We can certainly use tools. If you have divination tools, you can certainly use those to move energy. You can work with an energy worker. You can call your intuitive counselor friend that you love working with. There's all kinds of things that you can do to get back into your inspiration for sure. And and get out of ambivalence, you know, so it's not like we're stuck there, right? But we will have more clarity about our path when we get out of this sense of like, oh, this doesn't inspire me. I don't know why I'm doing this. So loosening up about how we work or when we work or our ideas of what productivity looks like for us can actually help us let go of self-destructive thoughts that hold us back, right? We think that we have to do things in a certain way, and that makes us feel trapped, and we don't recognize that we have freedom. And when we don't play enough with other people, we don't witness the support available to us. So like coffee dates, dinner, play dates, masterminding, all these things offer the opportunity to make new revelations and find resources to get what you need so you don't feel blocked anymore in your vision. We need to recognize that everything is there to support us to get what we want and not feel like things are not available to us. We don't have options, that no one really cares, because people do care, and they care on every level of existence, actually, more than we can recognize fully with our conscious mind. So commit yourself to being a decisive person and release ambivalence to be a powerhouse manifestor. That is like my top tip. Releasing ambivalence, making decisions with power and intention are the ways you are able to be a powerful manifestor. So play also helps us express our authentic self, which is really important in so many different ways. And we want to be as authentic as we can in our messaging and our marketing and in how we run our business, right? So our authentic self comes out through playful manners of working, right? Our true self delights in an environment focused on pleasing ourselves. We don't give enough space for pleasure, I think, in our concepts of how we live, and pleasure is deeply, deeply important. And I find that nourishing myself in different ways and doing that every day. I know there are like some people who love to do regular cacao ceremonies, or obviously sitting in meditation is one way to do that. Although, you know, you might or might not think of that as a playful activity. Going on a walk with your dog or playing with your dog in the backyard, you know, little things are great too. But how you like treat yourself in so many different ways is super important. And believing that you deserve pleasure is actually a big part of inviting more wealth into your life. Anyways, our inner child needs an opportunity to come out and play in our work. And they're here to keep us connected to our deep self, which is where we go to for inspiration. So our inner child really needs that space to be nourished. And when we're not in a playful spirit, we withdraw and don't share our authentic selves. And our authentic self creates more powerful outcomes, right? So we have to get more visible in our businesses when we want to grow. And it is tough when we're not feeling energized by what we're doing because we haven't nourished ourselves enough to express our authentic selves. Anyways, you need to feel nurtured and comfortable to manifest your vision in the world. And in this era, we're all going through an experience of awakening, right? And part of our path of enlightenment is to go easy on ourselves, because this is how the higher self can be more easily channeled through us. So we sometimes want to work really hard to be spiritually aware. And actually, sometimes the best thing we can do is chill out. So, you know, think about that. Like, are you relaxing enough to let your inner self shine, right? If you're not, it's time to take a break. Time to take a break. Maybe take a vacation. That might help too. Anyways, letting go of stresses and energy drainers helps us tap into a more adventurous spirit. And all of our big visions call us forward toward adventure. So we have to be willing to release the things that are sucking us dry, right? And embrace some of the things that are going to give us more playful enjoyment of our business. Now, it doesn't mean we don't do the things that we need to do. And sometimes that's a perspective shift that we need to actually get to the point where we really can play when we're doing something. Anyways, the true self comes in through playful energy, lets you more easily tune into your own voice, right? And we might be tempted to parrot others that we look up to, especially when getting started. And that can make it harder to attract our soulmate clients if we're not owning our own voice. And we more easily find our unique expression by goofing off than we do by taking things too seriously, giving ourselves room to just like try something out and just see what happens and see how we feel after it's done. Although, even though we do need to do important things to accomplish what we've set out for ourselves in our business. But yeah, being more willing to experiment in your messaging, your marketing, and things like that is really a great way to actually tune into your voice and figure out what you really like sharing, how you like to present yourself. And you have to be willing to try things over and over again until you figure that out. All right, so I want to talk about something very important to getting your goals met, which is learning how to want to do what you don't want to do to get what you do want. Okay, so authenticity, connecting to our authentic self, it might tell us that we tell you that you don't want to do certain things. I don't really want to do that. It's not authentic to me, right? And a playful attitude is going to let you cultivate a willingness to do it and a determination to follow through on the important work that you need to do to get where you want to go. So play isn't an excuse not to actually try to do the things that you may have been told by a teacher or by a thought leader that you follow. We can't let authenticity get in the way of us accomplishing what we want to accomplish. Doesn't mean that we can't find a way to do it authentically, right? Anyways, having a combative attitude towards the tasks that you need to do will snowball over time, and it convinces you that the work can't be fun, and it makes it harder and harder to follow through. So that's the key. We get convinced it can't be fun, and we don't actually give ourselves a chance to find a way for it to be fun. And we often fear stepping out, and we'll mistake that fear for a problem with authenticity. It can be a red herring, okay? So when we're more playful, we can see how we might align with certain opportunities, seeing beyond our perceived limitations about how we are ready to be seen. And here's the thing. We are basically sometimes stepping into this rebellious anti-authority position. You know, that's where we go. We're like, not going to tell me what to do. I don't do things that way, right? And often that's conditioned by negative experiences we've had with authority. It's not even about what we think it's about, right? And that keeps us from committing to the success creating actions that are going to help us achieve our goals. So we don't want to just go in a rebellious spirit just because we're fighting an old boss or a parent. We don't want to go into that mindset. We want to be in our power and understand that we can take on anything we put our mind to. Okay. So pivoting emotions is essential to receiving higher wisdom and healing that allows you to stay the course on your plans, right? And taking charge of our emotional state is important to us finding our freedom in a situation, right? We see ourselves as more free when we have chosen to be in charge of our emotions. It doesn't mean we don't feel things. I don't believe in that. I think you're supposed to fully feel stuff for sure. But there are times when we need to just decide, you know what, I don't have to stay here. This is not where I'm going to live, right? Okay. Anyways, it takes us from a reactive to an empowered state. That's where big movement is actually possible when we're in our power. And in the extreme, unchecked negative emotions about what we need to do may bring us to a place where we want to give up, right? And we don't want things to get to a point where we have a hard time returning to a state of ease and curiosity. So that brings me to playing with problems. So, you know, we need to be in a playful spirit with the problems that come up. We're going to have things that show up. We're going to have to solve problems for sure. So getting stuck and thinking you don't have solutions can be remedied by play and by experimentation. So without rest or playful expression, we're inclined to have a tired mind that can't see potentials, right? We don't see what's available to us. And we generate wealth by being solution-oriented and being willing to figure things out. You always have to be in a space of being willing to figure it out rather than staying stuck there. Just decide there's an answer and go after it, right? And here's the thing, and this is something I've experienced in especially technology related things that are really hard even for me, and I do actually do a lot of kind of tech stuff. Think it's this idea that things are impossible. And I didn't even understand it until I got on the other side. I'm like, oh, I went into that whole situation because I had a hard time with something at the beginning of it. And I have these past experiences where things like this are really, really hard. I actually didn't just think it was hard. I thought it was impossible. On some level, that was my subconscious pattern. This is impossible. And you need to be open to possibility. in order to solve problems effectively and not drive yourself crazy trying to solve them. You, again, like being able to be playful with it and go, I'll just take one step and I'll take the next step. I'll take the next step, actually is really important. Anyways, you have to adopt an attitude that you're going to be supported in that situation. That was the thing that was the story. Like, no one's going to help me. I'm going to get on tech support and they're going to be jerks and they're not going to actually understand what I'm asking for. And I'm going to have to fight to get what I want. And the system isn't going to work the way I want. Like, I just had all these stories about it, right? In my specific situation. Anyways, when you adopt that attitude, you're going to be supported. You're going to more readily find the answers and you're going to have the capacity to see something through more easily rather than feeling like you're going to be doomed without a solution. We can go into that place so easily. And you have to stay in the reality where you always get what you need, see a path forward, and there's going to be less resistance in your way. And I think those situations that I recently went through, I would have been so much happier and able to be more available for other things I needed to do if I could have let go of the idea I wasn't going to be supported, because ultimately I was. And ultimately I found the answer. I had to take a few steps to get there, but I did. Anyways, here's the thing. You want to play with the universe. It doesn't always require hard work to solve problems, even though we feel that way sometimes. And when we surrender to divine flow, the universe coordinates miraculous solutions to our problems. It is pretty amazing what's possible, actually. Like, amazing physical manifestations can happen that will blow your mind. And I have experienced that in the last few years on levels that are really amazing. I could just go on and on about those, but I'm not going to this particular talk, right? Anyways, you want to lean into the possibility of getting exactly what you want. It's going to keep your energy open to see the solutions that drop in your lap, so you can actually see them and take advantage of them. Okay. Anyway, so here we are. We've decided to be more decisive, right? But in order to get there, we have to release confusion, and confusion can hold you hostage. So we have to be determined to be decisive in the face of confusion. And you have to decide to firmly let go of the old and move into the new, even if you're afraid. You have to decide, I'm just going to let go of this and I'm going to move forward. I'm going to let go of this. I'm going to move forward. I don't know how this is coming together, but I'm going to move forward. And big change can be frightening, but it's only by moving forward with intention that you're going to get to see your full potential and the true destiny of your business. It's available to you if you keep moving toward it, right? And again, ambivalence destroys your power. So you got to let go of the need to get overwhelmed by possibilities and take some kind of action. There's so many possibilities available. What am I going to do? Take some kind of action. Move forward toward the one that you have the most curiosity about and go for it and see what happens. And then you'll see where you go next, okay? Because even if you're not sure where it's all going to lead, you will get to where you need to go if you start taking action. And when you hesitate, you might lose opportunities. So being too patient can actually put you in a place where you're unable to see or take advantage of important breakthroughs for you and your business. And the longer you wait, the longer it's going to take for you to build wealth through your business. And momentum is important, and it's vital that you trust your instincts when a new opportunity presents itself, even if it feels a bit risky. Without aligned action support, you're going to have a much harder time moving forward and realizing your vision. So all these things come together when we are trying to grow our business, trying to increase our wealth, trying to increase our audience and our client base, coming back to the core idea that, am I actually playing enough? Am I stepping in my joy, into my pleasure enough to open myself up to all that's available to me? That really is the core thing that we're going for. And we want to enjoy more and more of our work. So we have to make a decision to incorporate more joy and play and creativity into our world in order to go to the places that we want to go. All right. Well, anyways, I have loved sharing this with you, and I would love it if I could share one more thing with you. So I think that receiving divine support, insights, and strategy are vital to realizing the full potential of your business. And in that vein, I'd like to offer you an incredible 2-day workshop where we're going to clarify and focus your business vision, expand your pleasure and ease in the work you do to cultivate your business, to align with profound magic that is going to allow you to create miraculous manifestations surrounding your business development, and to also learn powerful techniques for practically growing your income and your client base. Because these are all things that I am all about. These are all things that I want to weave into my business, and I work with my clients to weave into their businesses. So I have a new program called Catalyst Soulful Business Accelerator. It's a short program. And in that program, you can claim rockstar motivation. I think of it as extravagant flow, like not just a little bit of flow, but extravagant flow. And I think delicious abundance, right? That's what we're going for. And in your soulful business through strategies and some just amazing strategies that are just going to, just move you up really, really quickly into the next level. And through the embodiment of the archetypes and the genius of the wild visionary and the prodigal architect. Okay. So anyways, in this 2-day adventure, you're going to cultivate commanding focus and deep enjoyment in the expansion of your clarified and exalted vision. And the goal here is to not only do that, but we want to release inertia or the feeling that the work is tedious or getting overwhelmed by things. And also like things that are just not going to actually get us where we want to go, that don't achieve the results that we want to achieve. So this 2-day business immersion is designed for practitioners, coaches, healers, and soulful leaders who want to step into powerful clarity about the soul, the desire, and the purpose of their business, and then to learn masterful strategies for amplifying their income, claiming the role of the audacious visionary, and cultivating pleasure on the awesome ride of creating their next level work. And we're going to all do this while tapping into the 5D creative power that's available to us. So in the program, the goals are, and the things that we will accomplish are to get divine clarity on how to claim the bold and inspiring path of your spirit-led business, because we want to get clear about that, to adopt new mindsets and the mastery of what I think of as miraculous manifestation concepts. Really, like, amazing miracles have happened in my life constantly, and I love sharing this with people, and skills that are going to allow you to create on a 5D level and bring it into the 3D realm. You're going to learn how to tap into like so much pleasure and satisfaction in the operation of your business. That is a big, important piece of it. And you're going to learn to connect to the desires and needs of your soulmate clients. You'll also grow your community and connections with your soulmate clients. So we're looking at ways to actually form a bond with them and to draw them into your space, to actually attract them into your space. And you're going to get inspired to create a new architecture for your business that's going to help you increase your prosperity. So figuring out how you put things together in a way that's going to actually work for you and actually help you grow your business to the place you want to grow it. So we'll do it by, these are the following things that you would do in this program. So you're going to do it by directing your aim to claim a bold vision in your business. We want to get to that bold place. We want to like be in our amazing juice, in our zone, right, when we're doing it. By cultivating pleasure in the day-to-day unfolding of your work. We've talked about that here, and I think there's a lot more to explore there. By adopting proven strategies for amplifying your profit in a client-focused business. So a lot of you are in client-focused businesses. By embracing powerful lead generation concepts that are going to help you grow your audience and client base, and learning powerhouse practices to become more prolific and realize your audacious visions. So I want to talk a little bit about the wild visionary and the prodigal architect. So when you align with the archetypal energy of the wild visionary, you lay claim to amazing generative powers that will help you align with the creative energies that operate beneath the surface of consensus reality, which I think of as the incredible wheel of destiny and the miraculous manifestations that allow big dreams to be realized at almost quantum speeds. It's kind of amazing how fast these things can happen. And you plug into divinely guided direction with a lot of ease, and you step into a flow of massive transformation and transformational work, and you lay the ground for a new evolved reality in your business that's going to welcome in a lot of abundance, ease, and a deeper love of life. And seeing your big visions come to life will put you in touch with infinite flow, where all possibilities are real and ready to be manifested. And it puts you on a track of attainment that snowballs month after month, year after year. So when you tap fully into your wild and creative self and experience the unbridled creative power that wants to flow through you from the highest levels, you just become unstoppable. and you have an unlimited potential for growth and a greater capacity to receive abundance. And you'll also have an intensified capacity for fun and joy. So now there's the Prodigal Architect. So adopting the genius of the architect, you put into motion the core principles and techniques that are going to amplify the profitability of your business, as well as amplify your reach to your soulmate clients. And you claim a potent and high-level game plan that's going to totally shift how you sell your services and grow your audience. So translating your visionary insights into grounded strategy is the work of the Prodigal Architect, and the key to connecting your powerful offering with your soulmate clients. So you need business structures and lead generation strategies that are going to help you operate your business at an executive level with systems in place that are going to bring the right people into the fold so you can cultivate and communicate with leads and market your services confidently and clearly in order to step into massive growth. So with the power of the wild visionary and the Prodigal Architect there, you can fully honor the incredible vision that your business desires to manifest through you and step into the abundance, the delicious creative focus, pleasurable action, and transformational service that you are being called to realize. So with nearly 20 years of experience in online strategy, design and branding, and 17 in the mystic and healing arts, I'm going to show you powerful, effective techniques and concepts that are going to help you manifest incredible outcomes and focus your creative energies in ways that are going to put you in touch with dynamic and immense transmutational flow of the quantum field, all while staying aligned on target with the daily unfolding of your business endeavors. So I invite you to grant yourself the divine permission to step into a new consciousness and the powerful knowledge that will allow you to fully unlock the full potential of your business, so you can manifest the new and amazing outcomes that you've been dreaming of for months or even years. All right. So anyways, this 2-day immersion is going to have 2 3-hour workshops that happen a week apart on Fridays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on May 5th and May 12th. So those are the dates that we're dealing with. So check your calendar and see if that works for you. There's going to be a blend of teaching and laser coaching with some time for personal discovery and vision mapping. And in our time together, you're going to get a refined and expanded vision for the growth of your business, heightened generative capacity and tools of 5D creation, deeper clarity on your ideal client, how to speak the language of their heart, and strategies for an up-level business structure and lead generation concepts that are going to unlock new levels of success in your spirit-led business. So the investment for this power-packed immersive 2-day workshop is one payment of $444 or 2 payments of $244. So normally this immersive experience I would charge $1,111 for, okay? But I'm offering it for $444. And then I have something special for you. So for the next 48 hours, I'm extending a special offer. You can get a bonus 30-minute session with me to be scheduled after the training so we can go over your vision map and refine your game plan. And this one-time offer is valued at $300. So I hope that you will take advantage of it. And that offer expires at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on April 15th. So I'm going to share the link with you in the chat box so you can get more info and register. Let me do that really quickly here. For those of you who are here, there we go. There's the URL, but I'm going to go ahead and read it out to you for those of you on the replay so you can check it out. And it's also in the email for the replay. The link will be there as well. Anyways, the link is sovereignspirit.biz/catalyst-accelerator. So hopefully you can spell sovereign. Sometimes people have a hard time with it. It's SOVEREIGN. So sovereignspirit.biz/catalyst-accelerator. Anyways, I can't stress enough just how valuable this breakthrough experience is going to be for you and what big leaps you're going to make by committing to these power pack trainings. If you're currently experiencing hesitancy about taking on new assignments for the advancement of your business, I know sometimes we encounter that. We're overwhelmed. We've got a lot going on. Maybe you are overwhelmed or you're unclear about what next steps you need to take, or you're having trouble even visualizing a positive picture of your business's expansion right at this time. then I actually highly recommend that you sidestep any indecision you may feel and come into alignment with your highest priorities and visions and see what direction they are calling forth from you, okay? And if you're sensing that this experience could help you make new connections and give you the tools to create new realities in your life and your business, then this is the time to take action, because I'm not going to ever offer this series of workshops again for the same low price that I'm offering it for this iteration. So I invite you to say yes to the inspiration tickling or shouting at you, and come play with us for this expansive and transformational journey. It would be my deep honor to guide and support you on your path to bursting forth with powerful new opportunity in your spirit-led business. Anyways, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. Please contact me if you have any questions, or you can schedule a discovery call through my site, sovereignspirit.biz. I appreciate all the beauty and magic that you bring into the world through your vision and your unique offering. And I want to thank you for showing up and sharing your gifts with the world. And now I would love to open things up for questions. And if you have any insights you want to share, any things that are popping up for you, you can there's a Q&A button that you can actually put your information in there. I don't know really. I think you could also pop things in the chat box if you want to. I believe that everyone, if you can't chat, I don't know, I might be the only one who can chat. You can put things in the Q&A. But yeah, any questions or thoughts about what we talked about today? Obviously, you can ask any questions about the Business Accelerator. I would be happy to answer questions about that. But yeah, I want to open it up and see if anyone has anything that they want to share or ask. We'll just give it a little minute here or so. Maybe everyone's feeling complete. No problem if that's the case. It's been so fun to share this with you all. I really enjoyed it, and I really appreciate you being here. So lovely to have you. Okay, well, if no one has any questions, it's absolutely no problem. Feel free to email me if anything occurs to you and you want to share anything. Again, that email address or my website has a way for you to contact me, so you can schedule a discovery call there. Or you can email me at Theresa, Theresa at sovereignspirit.biz. That is also another way you can reach me, or you can schedule a time to chat. Well, awesome. Well, I really appreciate all being here. Thank you so much for bringing your energy to this experience. And yeah, I have just loved the summit that I just held. Was really, really fun. And if you were a part of that, thank you so much for joining in that. It was really such a treat to share that experience with everyone. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what culminates from that. If you have any great experiences you want to share with me, I would love to hear from you to see how that has also supported you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed doing this and sharing this with you. I hope you have a really amazing rest of your day. Bye for now.